Hello everyone, let's try this again. Just lagged out as soon as I started. This is the final round of Season 7 of AM2 in Contest of Speed. From Mexico, the circuit D. Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City. The highest F1 track by quite some margin. 7,342 feet. It's 2,250 meters for people who speak that language. I'm Kid and Petter, joined as always by my Australian partner in crime, Bodhod. What's going on, Bodhod?
Hello. Nice to be back for one last time this season. Mexico is always an interesting circuit, provides some decent racing with that million miles long straight. But I know it's very, very hit and miss with some people, as we've already got a DNF and a DSQ. So
this young DJ CJ already.
Out of the heaven.
Well, that would be a good sign for me to open up the old handy dandy track map. That is DK coming off a podium last week for Red Bull. The only man flying the Red Bull flag this evening. He is on pole at the moment.
DK did one better than Freddie last week, didn't he win it?
DK did win, didn't he? Yeah, DK won. Yep. Yeah. That's the one thing that I did not write down was the results from last week. It was DK, Marina Rat, and Freddie.
Completely different podium, didn't we?
Yeah, it wasn't Freddie.
Freddie finished fourth. Got him in
right.
afterwards. Who was third? Mystery. You might have to go and check that.
Yeah, no apologies. I just kicked everybody out of the chat about 15 minutes ago. So I probably should have remembered that. Was it Bama? Yeah, I think Bama finished third. Nonetheless, I guess while we're just sitting here waiting for these guys to throw down some spicy laps, It was Andrew, that's right. Andrew's first podium of the season.
We have 3 different podium getters. Yeah, that's right.
Of course. The Drivers' Championship, first, second, and third. That is over. We finished that one last week in Baku. Freddie won the championship. He's in 184. Bama in P2, 152. Acosta didn't make it this week. He's at 135. But behind him, things are getting a little interesting. Andrew on 79 in P4. DK is 74 in P5. So, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I think the real story is going to be the constructors. Red Bull, only one driver tonight, that's DK, on 202 points, followed by AlphaTauri on 194, and Alfa Romeo in 186. We'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully you brought your math pencil with you, because I know I'm not going to be able to do that in my head. Do we know what the weather is going to be?
I haven't seen any reports of rain yet, so yeah, I'm assuming it's not raining. Usually everyone's like, oh well, it's rain, where, and like have a bit of a moan in the chat, but we have none of that, so we have to assume it's not wet.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day here in Mexico. We have plenty of drug mules about to take us on an adventure around this track. I think the constructors really all the way through is interesting, because even you get to P4, which is kind of the cutoff. You got Ferrari on 97, they're pretty safe. McLaren on 71, but then Haas, Williams, Renault, Racing Point, and Mercedes. The bottom half is split by 13 points, so we could see a lot of movement there. And do you know who won this race last year, Bodhod?
The AM2 race?
Yes.
I don't remember. I
have the results. You did. So.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you also had pole at a 114.237. So put that in your bingo in your notes. We'll see if anybody here can top it so far. I believe we had the majority of poles last season. We've seen them fall at each and every track we've been to, unfortunately for our self-esteem. But I finished P2. Yeah, it was a good old-fashioned bod kid in P or 1-2. And I'm gonna quiz you again. Do you know who finished third?
Third. See, I don't even remember the race, so I'm meant to guess who
Yeah,
finished
I didn't remember any of it either. I totally forgot about it.
It was in the first half of the season, wasn't it?
It was no, it actually wasn't. I thought it was going to be like one of the first few rounds. It was actually
really?
it was actually round 12.
Oh, so right in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess Andrew.
You got the close. As Lemmy goes P1 with a 14.286. Still a little bit off a years from last season. It was actually this man we're riding on board with right here. Google Dougal with his only podium of the season finished P3 in Mexico round 12 last year.
There you go.
So that is your AM2 fun fact of the day. I guess aside from all those previous fun facts about altitude. Got a couple of folks reserving. Shane for the third time this season, the Belgian, warming up his tires as he's already invalidated this outlap. Looks like Captain Lemmy is back for some more action. He finished P2 in a rain-soaked round 9 in Barcelona behind the eventual champion, Freddie. And it looks like ECOS Hayden, who represents COS at the... what do the ECOS guys do? Don't they just do a bunch of European events? Like against other leagues? Yeah. Like All-Star League kind of things. And Jay Lawler, who is coming over from ED2. I believe I looked that up. He is P10 in ED2, which I believe the season's concluded.
Reserve, I think, as well. So it's nice to have him on board for the finale.
Yeah.
We'll have up the championship fight, definitely, for those constructors.
Yeah, definitely throwing all hands on deck for that. Really looking forward to seeing what Lemmy can do. I should reference Fred has already been disqualified as he has already won the championship. He is starting from the back of the grid. That was his choice. He actually wanted to do it last week, but people talked him out of it because that seems like a pretty bad idea if you're going for a championship around Baku. But yeah, just kind of looking around here. Track limits, obviously. Doesn't get much worse than Mexico in terms of track limits. Not only the S's, but this part right here, turns 2 and 3. I believe that is the S's Moises Solana, I think is what that's called. That is also terrible. Both 2 and 3 and the exit of 3 are god-awful.
Because you can cut a little bit of it, but you can't cut too much of it. And if you don't cut a little bit of it, you're going to lose a bit of time. And if you cut too much of it, you're not going to get the time at all. So it's very, very tricky. You almost have to run over that little red bit in the apex. That S section is really tricky, particularly considering that most of it's kind of almost flat. You kind of need to keep the foot in. You really need to get the start of the section right to keep the line. As soon as you start drifting out, you're either lifting off or tapping the brakes, or you're just drifting off the track and getting that lap invalid. So very, very technical. Very fine margin of error, which makes it interesting, particularly in the race. You see some guys standing it, wrapping them up, and some guys being a bit more cautious and possibly ripping the walls at the end. So it's always an interesting race, so on that front.
Yeah, it is, and it seems... Alright, yeah, a lot of invalidations going on. At the moment, no one out on a hot lap. It doesn't appear. Maybe is VTech on a hot lap. Let's look at his steering wheel. Looks like he has a lot of ERS. Might be.
Yeah.
Might as well just ride along with VTech anyways. He's pretty much the only guy on track. What you got, VTech? No pressure. Special shout out to VTech. He was helped us out in what essentially was like an 8-hour long form podcast during the 24 hours of the Nürburgring over the weekend. Congrats to those guys for finishing P19 around the green hell.
There you go. Good thing contest of speed stretching out and being successful and then surviving that place is a mission in itself.
Yeah, 24 hours. Couldn't pay me to do it. And they actually paid to do it, so different breed there. Captain Lemmy currently on pole. Looks like he's going to be starting another hot lap. I'd have to say that he is one of the favorites is Bama. Pretty sure that was on purpose. I think Bama is also going to start with Freddie at the back. But I would say, with those two out, Acosta not here, gotta look at guys like Lemmy, who's, finished second in his only race in reserve. And DK, I think those have to be favorites tonight, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. I'd also look at the likes of perhaps Andrew, who tends to pop up quite regularly on that alternate strat. He's currently sitting 13th. We should talk about strat at some point as well, but it's a real opportunity for some of them with some big guys at the back who can very easily get caught up in incidents and just general traffic, because midfield is quite tight in this tier, so real chance for some of those guys to stretch out and get a win, particularly when you were mentioning before the drivers and constructors fights kind of in that midfield are so close. So it's really an opportunity for some other guys to really take the chance and step up. I do expect though Dammer and Fred to still kind of make it to the top 5-6 area, because they are very quality drivers, but in terms of big points it's a real opportunity.
Absolutely. You never know. Don't really see a whole lot of safety cars around here either. Something would really have to go haywire for a safety car to come out, I'd assume. Lemmy does improve and he beats your time, so congratulations, Bod. You are slower than Lemmy.
Yeah. Oh well. It's always next season.
Hate to see it. Let's see.
I'm driving in here anyway.
Yeah, who knows? Have we found out what next season is? Is that going to just be like an extra short season?
I believe we're doing another mini season, but not confirmed as to the formats or all that sort of stuff. Because we still do have a bit of time. I think the release of the next game is mid-July, so there's still kind of 3 months before that. So news to come. Nothing's really been confirmed yet.
Well, I guess keep updated on the socials. Contests of Speed everywhere. Instagram, Twitter. Probably not Facebook, because old people don't really like sim racing. And the website, contestofspeed.com, of course. Arkaka just got a humongous tow from his teammate Porge Power. You might remember last week, McLaren, by golly, that was a extremely disheartening effort. Arkaka looked like he had a time penalty, but he probably would have finished second, but with 2 laps to go, lost it in the castle section. Porge, somewhat similar of a story. He was up there, I think in P4, P5, looking like one of the best results for them all year. And unfortunately, they both had incidents and lost out. Arkaka coming around here. It's P12, 11, and 12 for McLaren. They will be starting on the alternate strat. Unless
incredible. They always put together like identical times.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they play FIFA together as well. Because I always see, I think I see both of them. Did they? Yeah, I always see them. They're both playing like seasons at the same time on FIFA. They might be cousins. Who knows? Try to look for. Let's go to DK. See what DK is doing. He is just exiting the first sector, and I'll tell you what, he is 200ths up on his previous time. We'll have to check and see. Vama Nubel up into P2. Good job from the Argentinian to get on the front row preliminarily.
He's been shot nice lately.
Yep.
See?
Through this tricky S section. DK navigates it, yep. Also,
3.5 tenths up.
We're getting close. No pressure, no diamonds for DK. Coming around the Peraltada. And, looks like he must have lost a little bit of time to the stadium, as that's only a 14.399.
Yeah, a really tricky section in that stadium. The hairpin is quite hard. It's actually really hard to get to the apex, and you get right around it because it is a really long hairpin. A lot of hairpins are kind of small angles, but it's almost a complete hairpin. And putting down the power on the exit the hairpin, that little right-handed bump, little kink in the curb, can be quite difficult. So really difficult to actually hook up that third sector. As final time's coming in now, Limmy is the time to beat, 14 flat. Who can get close?
Nah, I think Limmy's got that. Yeah, Shane's already finished, and that is a good quality for Shane. So there you have it. All three reserves in the top 5. We're riding along with Jay Lawler. I haven't seen a whole lot from him. He has the same helmet design I do, the one with bubbles. Only his are in a Mercedes color. Through the stadium.
So possibly pushing that P7-8 range.
Round Peraltada for one last time. It is Jay Lawler in P4. So a strong showing from all of the reserves tonight in AM2. Lemmy P1, Jay Lawler P4, Shane P5, and Hayden P6. Overall,
Hayden with identical times as well.
That is, wow, that's crazy. Bet they couldn't do it again if they tried. So I guess might as well. I'll go through this order here. If you want to talk about strategy or come up with some predictions, everyone in the comments, you're always encouraged to get your predictions out there.
Probably talk about strategy on the formation lap.
Yeah.
Get some predictions in there, I think. The strategy is an interesting one. There are a couple of things that can work, and races where a couple of things can work are always fun.
Lemmy says that his lap was a fluke, but here you do have the order. Lemmy, DK, Vamanubal, Jay Lawler, Shane, Hayden, Young DJ, CJ, Motown, Motor City, Porridge, Power, Gru will be the top 10. VTech, Clay, Arkaka, Andrew, Google, Bama, and Fred. Those two are doing a last to first challenge this evening. Should be fun. Yeah, I think probably talking about a 2-stop for most of these guys. I guess you can't go soft to hard. I don't think that's faster. To be completely honest, I don't really like practicing around here. I don't like the track. There's no flow to it, just a bunch of chicanes. And, you know, sometimes you get a little dizzy with the altitude.
Yeah, I think a soft, medium, soft will be the target. But I think a couple of people will fall back to soft, medium, medium. Because the softs don't last like long at all. And the mediums actually feel really nice around here. Did a race last night, filling in at Mexico actually, and mediums are a really good race tyre, or at least for my setup. So we might see a double medium stint. Softs, off the start, you can probably stretch them to 10, but ideally you probably want to only hit kind of like 7, 8 to get rid of them. Because kind of by lap 5, 6, the mediums start to overtake them. So even a couple of varieties in the 2-stop there. See who's nice in the tyres. Who can do a double soft stint. Who's actually got enough softs to do a double soft stint. Fred and Bam we know will, having not really qualified. But some people might have used 3 soft tyres in quali, meaning they don't have any fresh extra ones. So a couple of things that you can do. You might see someone try the 1-stop. Always worth trying if you don't have the raw pace. So you might see someone in the midfield try that. Someone like, say, Andrew, who often tries something different. So I'll have to see who kind of gets that all right. Get some good results if you do.
Yeah, we will see. And speaking of seeing, I think we'll go ahead and check the good old-fashioned tire selection now. Clay Funk, the only one outside of the top 10, electing for softs. The rest, as expected, will be on the medium tires. So I'll get to your predictions after I go through the order one more time, because quite frankly I'm not sure what to expect from this one. With Captain Lemmy on pull, the EU1 commentator turned AM2 Super Reserve, Roberto Moreno-esque from him. DK in P2 coming off of his only win of the only victory of the season. Only win of the victory. Jeez.
Only win of the victory.
Anyone am I having a stroke over here? Goodness. Vamo Nuba with one of his best qualifying performances of the year. The Argentinian starts P3, followed by another reserve. This one in the Mercedes in P4. Jay Lawler in P5. You've got IRL Shane 50. The Belgian is making his 3rd start in AM2 this season. Ecos Hayden, also known as Bucky from back in the day, he's in P6. Young DJ CJ with, I believe, his best qualifying performance of the year in P7, even though he only did one lap because he crashed on his out lap. Or on his in lap. Motown Motor City hopefully won't be lagging into anybody this week. He's in P8. Porridge Power in P9. Gru in P10. VTech in P11. Clay in P12. Arkaka P13. Andrew P14. Google P15. And then you have 1-2 in the championship. They've already clinched. That's Bama and Freddy. And it's a quick lap around here. So any predictions? Bot
Well, I do think everyone will two-stop it. So it'll be down to pace. I know those mediums are nice. I do expect Bama and Fred to get top fives. But I reckon Remy will take the win. He's in a pretty nice position. DK will stay on the podium too. I'm going to back Shane to the podium.
Tasty. That is tasty. The lights are out, but it's a glitch. Waiting for the revs to build. There they are. And we're off from Mexico City, the longest run down to turn 1 on the calendar. Let's see what kind of moving and shaking goes on back here.
Yeah, Minnie's got a good start. Bama's going to call them long. They might be 1-2 at the end, as we're just about 4 wide.
Yeah, look at these guys fan out back there.
Mercedes is going to send it.
Oh, no. Nice.
Yeah. Yikes.
That is... Yeah, good qualifying from Jay Lawler, but yeah, not the best execution into turn 1.
I'll up the back as well.
Oh, no, it's Gru and Clay. Gru and Clay have...
everywhere.
Yeah, plenty of leaves. Oh, Gru does have damage. That was his best qualifying of the year in 10th, I think. Clay looks like he got away scot-free. And Lawler is now at the back of these guys. Look at the championship, too. Freddie already up to P13. Bama already up to P10 on the medium tires. Clinging onto the back of Andrew is fresh. Go back up front. Lemmy has already busted out a 1-second advantage as he goes through the stadium for the first time. Vama Nubel in P2, just managing the gap. DK, who might have had a bit of a heart attack there when you saw the Mercedes going up his inside. He is in P3, and Hayden has actually gone P4, followed by Shane. So a little bit of drama. A little bit of drama. Let's see the...
Yeah, definitely interesting stand up. I think it's just missed his braking point. Pretty difficult on the inside to pick the spot.
Yeah,
so you really want to be as wide as you can for the entry to open up the second part. The first corner really doesn't matter that much. It's kind of about hitting turn 2 and then getting off turn 3 really well for the next straight. So quite difficult when you're trying to get past about 7,000 people as well.
Yeah, especially whenever, I mean, you see how fanned out these guys get. It's such a wide straightaway. I mean, it's not uncommon to see 4 or 5 wide through into turn 1. So very inviting, but it's very easy to completely miss your braking zone. Shane got a little bit out of the
track. It's really narrow through there, so
it's a funnel.
Yeah, you have to be smart about it.
It is a funnel. As everything really seems to have settled down here. Looks like the closest on track at the moment is Jay Lawler and VTech. VTech dropped a couple of spots on the start.
I had some minor front damage as well from that turn 1 incident. Very minor. So that might affect his performance. Probably not too much.
Yeah, the only person that stopped was Gru. We saw some pretty significant front wing damage on him. He is put on the hard, so I think he's going to try to take those tires to the end and just skip the 2-stop altogether. Not sure how long the hards can go, but they are pretty, I believe, as you said, dreadful. Lawler gets the move done on VTech for P12, but still quite a ways to climb after the first corner incident for him. Oop, I'm trying to go through the drivers. I'm messing up the telemetry. I believe that Freddy, he must have made a mistake because he is down there in P14. He missed that. He was just ahead of VTech and Jay Lawler, but he is now back there in P14. He's got to come up.
He spun it in the S section. No damage, he's out of the wall, but he's going to lose a lot of places.
Ah, yeah, there he is. I was looking all over the place for him. Could not find him. As Freddy gets VTech around the outside. Very nice move from Freddie. His Limmy's just pouring on fast lap after fast lap at the moment. There, in the Alfa Romeo. This bodes well for Alfa Romeo. Or wait, no, Limmy's in the Racing Point. It bodes well for Racing Point not finishing last. That's what it bodes well for. As DK has made a move on Newell.
Down the inside, turn 1 as well. He's leading the medium runners.
Whoa, these guys are tight.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
DJ, not quite yet.
And that's going to be... No, Andrew's going to have a go with DJ. CJ into turn. It's going to pop out yet. You know, just discretion is the... yeah, don't really need to throw your race away this early. Yeah, Valma Newell just got passed by DK. DK is now going to try to assault Captain Lemmy, but that is about 2.5 seconds already after 4 laps. And extremely... I don't even know what I was saying. I was looking at the Cardinals game on my TV. Sorry. I don't really know.
Behind DJ forming up quite a bit. Medium runners, I think around about now is when the mediums will start to rotate the softs, just quite early on. So we should see these medium guys start to put the foot down a bit. It's going to start with Andrew, possibly make a move here on DJ, who's already lost a couple of seconds to Bamber in front. The aero's open now, so very, very long straight. Should be able to make full use of it. Although most of these guys have run out of patches. About 3 moves here. Oh, and Andrew's in the wall. I'm not sure if that's going to be damaged. Lawler's going to send it. That was very questionable on the defensive side there, I think. That first place.
Yeah, that was a really late move back to the left from DJ CJ. And now Lawler is going to try to attack once again. Up into P7 goes Jay Lawler. And hey, Andrew's got to be... I'd be a little timid after that. I'm not sure. He definitely wasn't expecting DJ to come back to the left side of the track as he mowed some of the grass for Mexico City's Parks and Recreation crew. I think Fred now on these mediums. Andrew, yeah, he's rattled. Andrew is going off at the S's. Now it looks like Freddie's going to be able to make a move pretty soon. And to be completely honest, he kind of has to, because Bama already up into P7 on those medium tires, already in DRS on Motor City in P6. So, actually no, not quite. But he is gaining rapidly. We'll have DRS before too long. As Freddie has gotten the move on Andrew done, I think, and he doesn't close the door on the braking point, so well done there. Lawler and DJ are still quite close to each other. But we got Hayden, who's one of the few with penalties already. We do expect pretty much everybody to have at least 3 seconds, probably more, by the end of this 36 lap race. There's just so many places where you can just barely go off and get a penalty. Not a fan of that, but it is what it is. And DJ is...
Yeah, I was on board with Fred.
Looks like he just...
There you go.
I think he just lagged out. I did send him some backup invites, so hopefully he'll be in here soon. We're used to seeing that with...
Likely to leave, I think, to just drive straight through there instead of having to force a questionable pumps.
There he is. Yeah, he's back. You know, if you had him, as the first lag out, you probably would have won a lot of money, because I think everybody's money would be on this guy right here, Motor City. But it's actually Bama here making a move on Motor around the outside on those medium tires, and he's going to get it done quite easily. Those mediums are certainly firing on all cylinders right now. Though Motor does get a little bit extra traction coming out of turn 3, but Bama still has the DRS from the front straight, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Good stuff from Bama. He's looking... Bama's looking real strong.
Yeah, Bama's now got 3 seconds to clear air. Particularly in his last section, Jetty has definitely a thing. So Bama should be able to close that gap pretty quickly, I think, in the mediums as well. So he's looking in a really nice spot. Already kind of done the hard work to get past that midfield. The battle at the top still converging. DK is slightly closing the gap on Limmy, about 2/10 of the lap. Bama and Hayden and Shane are just getting dragged along with him. Not so much Shane, but Bama and Hayden particularly. So that might start to converge. As Murray's in the pits, he's going to be the first one to pit. Soft tires.
Yeah, not surprised there. Is for some reason the interval is just keeps dropping in and out. I guess it's because of Motor's pit. Not entirely sure, but yeah, DK holding up a bit of a train here. If I had to guess, I think DK is probably running pretty low downforce because these guys should be able to just swarm him on that long front straightaway as Newell was picked up 3 seconds worth of penalty. But instead, DK is able to just tow these dudes around. I mean, we'll see who pits. We already saw Motor blink. Let's see if Lemmy or one of the other leaders here will take those chances this lap. So what do you think? Lap 8? You said that earlier.
I'd expect to see a lot of these top runners in lap 8 or 9 undercut. If you come out in some relatively clear areas, might be powerful around here. So I'm not sure how much the charge of gaps people are. I don't think it's the longest pit lane, but I expect to see some of these front runners in this lap. Or next lap. So,
yeah.
Something I know, particularly DK, because if he gets an undercut on Limmy, he might be a decent shouting DK.
Yeah, he's definitely made those softs last. He's down to nearly a second now. He's gaining quicker on Limmy than these guys are gaining on him with DRS. So DK must have taken some extra care of those tires as Freddie gets Lawler in turn 1. Up
what
to
I'm
P7.
thinking is they're trying to push to a soft, medium, soft. I think if you pick kind of lap 7, 8 into a soft, medium, medium, which I honestly think is just as good. Looks like they're going to try and do a double soft. That would be why they're still staying out. Tire wear on exploratory system is saying most people are pushing the 60s. A couple in the 70s now, so Shane's rears at 70. So looks like they are trying to stretch it for 2 soft stints. That's up to why they're staying out.
Yes, interesting. I see, always forget they have these DRS.
I think now, in a second.
Let's see. It's right around 1 second. DRS line is right there at the exit of the baseball stadium. And that is Lemmy. Lemmy is the first one out of these leaders to go in. Looks like the other two... Nope, Vamo Nubel will follow him, as Motor's gotten a 3-second time penalty as well. DK has as well. These things are coming in hot and heavy at the moment. Hayden is going to benefit from having the DRS for those 2 straightaways with clear air ahead of him. 1.5 separates him from the leader DK. And would you look at this? Bama all the way up to P3, and Freddie has reeled him in. Despite having to navigate through a lot more traffic, took him a lot longer to pick his way through there. Only 2 seconds off of Bama right now. Those are
screwed, which is good. So should be a nice little fight here. So 2 Renaults are having a bit of scuffle at the pit lane. Motor's put on hards, so by the way, so he can one stop it. Shane's put on more softs, and Bama's put on mediums. So a bit of variety there. Next 3 or next 2.
That is strange. Motor didn't know that he was racing until pretty much the last second here. Today due to his connection. So the fact that he probably hasn't had a whole lot of practice, maybe he's thinking that the one stop might be the best way for him to nab some points. Not expecting too many more people to do that though. You see Gru all the way down there in last. He's the only other one to try it, but he had to do it out of a necessity after his wing damage first lap. DK and Hayden both in. It's going to be softs for DK. Gambling man, DK Nortec 29 with the bold decision to go soft at the start of this race. And Hayden's on mediums.
Limmy's already passed a bit extra, so Limmy's got a massive undercut, I was saying before.
And Limmy's on softs too. I didn't realize Lemmy was on softs. So DK will have slightly fresher. This might be shaping up to be pretty interesting. Who's that? Is that Clay? Someone.
Oh, so he's gonna make a double move. Oh, this is questionable. Up here, we got three guys trying to make moves.
Whoa!
There's contact and Akaka's round.
Arkaka and Google Doogle duking it out. I'm not sure what was going on there.
Yeah, Lumi was trying to make a double pass. He got Akaka on the exit. Akaka tried to make a late move on Ferrari for Google Doogle, which unfortunately didn't quite work out for him. But that was all a bit iffy, I think. But there you go, Lumi's clear now. Google is free. Vamu has jumped DK actually, as well, worth mentioning.
Yes, undercut does work. Allegedly.
Definitely, I mean, see the gap that Lumi pulled in one lap.
It is a massive gap. Softs will be one lap older compared to DK though, and those other two medium runners, their last stint will be on soft. So I think that this is shaping up to be a pretty nice little four-way fight for victory. Something that we really haven't seen this season, because the top three have won every single race and pretty much been on the podium every race. As Vitek and Arkaka going at it. Arkaka didn't get enough action with Google Doogle, so he's trying to find some more. Yes, yeah, you see Motor on those hards, he's struggling. He's already dropped down to P13. And Hayden is buried back here with these guys. Not ideal for Hayden right now. Gotta find a way to get around him. He does get Arkaka, who locks up going to turn 4. As I think DK has made the move on. Whoa! On Google. I don't.
Oh, we've got some yellows. What's that for?
That is.
Google ground.
Yeah, Google. DK passed Google. I didn't see any contact, but it looked like Google lost it into the barrier. So Google's day is not going too great at the moment. Trying to defend his solo podium from last season is COS Hayden and Vitek going hammer and tongue through the stadium section. Hayden should be able to get this move done on the fresh mediums with DRS. At least you would expect him to. Yep, easy enough. He's going to have that done well before the actual turn 1. So top 4 are through. He still has to get past Shane. But yeah, Lemmy now working with over 4 seconds. That is ridiculous. How OP that was. And in the middle of all of this, we missed the fact that Freddy made a move on Bama. He is now P1 on track through the pit cycle. And he has clear air. Bama is 2 seconds off. I wonder if Bama made a mistake. Everything was just kind of going on at the same time there. So you've got another caution. I'm not sure what that was for.
Yes, these medium runners now will be the ones to watch. If you've got a 2-stop off medium, you should probably put around that 14. If you've got a 2-stop, or do 2 soft stints, you'd probably wait till 16, 17, do like 16, 10, 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
So next couple laps, I think we'll see them in.
DK's made on a mission, even though Lemmy got that undercut. That is the fastest lap of the race so far for the man from Bristol.
Not too shabby.
Who is this back here? Is that Google Doogle and Clay Funk going at it? Ooh, man. Tough day for both these guys. They gotta think that they're probably expecting a lot more. And not to be battling for P15 at this stage of the race. Jay Lawler and Vitek is still getting yellow. Is that? Not sure what that's for.
There's a half on the apex there.
Oh, I didn't even see him ghosting. Yeah, that is young DJ.
DJ. Yeah, he was parked there for about 15 seconds. He's got big damage actually.
Yeah, he does.
So that's almost lap down, and he's spun it again.
Yeah, those tires are warm. As Freddy's in the pits, leader's in the pits, and that's got to be disappointing for DJ because he did finish P8 here last season. Only had 6 points through the first 10 rounds. Definitely probably was expecting a little bit better. Lemmy will inherit the lead, and I think Bama has pit at the same time. Let's see where these guys come out. It's going to be softs for Freddy, mediums for Bama. We'll see if Fred can stretch this into a soft. He is pretty good with the tires. Remember that. Look at Shane up there in P4. He's actually jumped Hayden. So Shane now in a really favorable position.
Yeah, doing well. Bama's still in P3 as well.
Check these penalties. 8 seconds for DK. Did he speed in the pits? Did he get? Oh man. Oh no. Let's just pretend that. Maybe on the start. No, because he didn't have it at the start. That's strange.
No.
Fama with 3 seconds. Shane with 6. Freddy with 3. Hayden with 6. Bama clean so far. Looks like Lemmy. Freddy has made a move. Is attempting to make a move on Shane through the stadium section. These guys are just tiptoeing through here, and Shane will eventually heed way. But only guys without a penalty right now is the race leader Lemmy, and Bama, and VTech, and Google Dougal. So,
Hayden solid.
Well done. They get the halfway point Wizard Award. We'll see if that lasts. I'm gonna guess probably not, but you never know. Miracles do happen.
Pretty good at hands. I expect him to stay relatively low. I think Lemmy only picked up 110 when he flew in Spain.
Yeah.
So let's see whether they can hang on to it.
See what happens. You usually get a little bit more leeway whenever it's raining. So not sure. Not really sure about Lemmy's racing exploits outside of his one appearance, but it looks more than qualified for AM2. Bama right now on the back of Hayden. I think he's going to want to get by. Those are fresh mediums, and yeah, he's got DRS. Going to try to hang it around the outside of the stadium. Keeps his foot in it despite Hayden's best effort to nullify that attempt. Looks like Bama will be there for the time being. Of course, Hayden will have DRS as a result down this main straightaway, so Bama's probably going to be emptying out that ERS, and he is. Look at how much he has saved. He has enough to fend off Hayden, who is completely out at the moment.
Yeah, nice job. See there, maybe running a bit lower wing as well. But yeah, very nice in a straight line there. I mean, it's very easy to burn ERS and quite difficult to save it around here. So,
I wonder if that's the thing with the altitude, because there are a lot of heavy braking zones. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same with the engine modes. It seems like the.
I'm not this game happens that in. It'd be very cool if it did.
I feel like Mexico is probably the worst track on the fuel. I mean, that might just be me making stuff up. Who knows? Freddy into the podium positions. He has passed Valmont Nubel for P3. Of course, Nubel on those mediums at a pace disadvantage to the champion of AM2 Season 7. And up next, DK Nortec. You can see him. You can smell him. And let's be honest, who can't smell DK Nortec? That man puts way too much Axe body spray on every time he goes out. Lemmy is in P1. That's 3.5 seconds for Lemmy. He just got to keep it clean for me.
Yeah, I'll demonstrate. P5. Yes,
yeah, that's P5. So top 5 here. Unfortunately for Hayden, looks like he's kind of faded on this second stint. So it looks like it actually might be a 5-horse race up front, depending on what the strategies are. Lemmy and DK obviously gonna have to go for the mediums, whereas Nubel, Bama, and Freddy can go for the softs. So we'll see. It's gonna be a lot of fun. This is one of the more interesting races to size up so far this year. And yeah, look at Fred. He's already already in DRS range. He's already on the back of DK within 1 lap. Lap 6 on those tires for DK. Probably starting to go off a little bit right now. And for Freddie, they are still in prime condition. Around the Peraltada.
Pretty able to hold a tighter line there. Definitely have the run. Probably get him without DRS anyway. DK doesn't not bothering to defend the boundary.
Yeah, he doesn't have a chance.
Probably get through. Yeah, easy enough.
Yeah, not a chance for DK. I think his only hope is probably to hold on to the back of Freddie here, and then hope that Freddie has to go into mediums for that second stint. What do you reckon? Probably, if Freddie can take those to lap 26, I think he's probably safe to do soft.
Yeah, you don't want to do any more than 10 laps on softs. You know, even if they are fresh, you start losing far too much time. So, yeah, 26 would be the target. White to DK, if he can get to kind of 21, the 15 laps of mediums is very doable. So he'll probably be looking at a pit stop shortly. Same with Limmy.
Yep.
And you could like 20 for an extra lap. So we'll see.
Yeah, you could see a. Oh no, Gru is retired in the pits.
Down around the outside into the stadium section. That's a very nice move there. Ooh. Quite tricky.
That is the second time he's done that. Oh, he's got a little Mexico helmet on. Look at that. He's got. I didn't even notice that. He's got a red, white, and green helmet. Love to see it. Lemmy is onto the mediums lap 20. From the lead, Freddie had completely closed that gap down. He now has a commanding lead in this race at 2.7 seconds, 2.8, and growing to DK Nortec behind him. Is it?
He didn't get held up by his teammate pit lane there, who's just come out and track retired.
Oh, that would be really unfortunate. I think Gru retired in the pits, but then his ghost decided to do a couple of ghost laps in tribute to the Rodriguez brothers. Yeah,
Limmy team though, he's got about 7 seconds to clear air, so that'll definitely help him.
Yep, and you think? I guess Bama's already 4 laps on these mediums. You should be able to get there, be able to throw the softs on at the end, but I think Freddie will be as well. We'll have to see how it all shakes out, but I gotta assume that Freddie's gonna have an advantage on Lemmy. He's by far the quickest man on track right now. As DK has hit the pits, as has Shane.
5 seconds for DK, so he'll say that now.
Yeah. And that might destroy his chances at a podium, to be completely honest with you. Unfortunate for DK, but you know what, I think whatever next season looks like, DK will go down as one of the prohibitive favorites if he's able to race full-time again. He has shown a lot of form despite missing a couple of races, as we referenced earlier. 5th place in the championship. If everything stands how it is, I think he might be able to get close to Andrew for P4.
Yeah, Andrew will make up a stop, another soft stop, so that battle is very close for the title. Well, not for the title, but in the title race. So it's one we'll be able to keep an eye on. I think DK is just ahead at this point of the race. 15 laps still to go though, that's a lot of time. Safety cars may be rare, but definitely not uncommon in general. With plenty of close drivers in the midfield, so still plenty can happen.
So shout out to Jay Logger there. It's only in P5 because of the pit cycle, but after his first corner run-in, he has been able to look like somebody that could compete at the fancier end of the points here in Mexico. Andrew makes the move on the softs, 6-lap-old softs versus 11-lap-old mediums. Those are probably pretty even, to be honest, at this stage of their life cycles.
Freddie's pulled 10 seconds almost on the burner, by the way.
I mean, absolutely ridiculous pace. But this is one of Freddie's best tracks, if memory serves me correctly.
Fred's tyres are in very good condition still. I'm not sure how he does it, but he seems to be very nice with his tyres. Just in general.
It's that Fanatec. It's got to be the Fanatec. It's all in the Fanatec.
There you go.
Feel free to feel free to sponsor us, Fanatec, and send me a free one because I'm still on a controller. It's actually this controller I'm using right now. J-Log, not giving up yet on Andrew, but I guess we'll see with this OPDRS what exactly he can do. These laps really tick by in Mexico. Really short lap. Even at race pace, they're usually around 118, 119, so it's very short laps. Not a very complicated track.
Yeah, the bits that are, you really need to get right. But, I mean, it does fly by. It's relatively high speed as well. So we battle for the last place as well at the moment. I think Forge has just gotten by Clay in the stadium station. Forge just hit off medium, so I'm not sure if he's going to quite be at points when everyone else pits. It's going to be close.
It's all about pride.
Something for his last.
I think Clay Funk's going to come back.
Clay's going to have another move here though.
Yeah, Clay's going to have
the inside aggressively.
I love to see the last race of the season. They're battling for P14. Nothing like it.
Ooh. Yeah, Clay with the slide over steer moment there. That's going to cost him a run, I think. And Porridge will hang on. So there you go. We follow back throughout the field here. A little bit of screen time.
Yeah, I know everybody's moms are watching, so gotta make sure that we get their kids on here. And of course, we will have a participation award ceremony after the race tonight with milk and cookies for everyone, as Jay Lawler is lining up a move on those mediums, still trying to fight back at Andrew. Let's see how far he's willing to duck into the into turn 3. That is a pretty solid move. Kind of hard to tell from the angle that we got, but looked like a little bit of wheel banging, but really not enough room for two cars to go around that complex. I don't think anything too nefarious. But yeah, this is the closest battle right now, besides DK Nortec and Motown Motor City. Motor on the hards is actually kind of making it work. No mistakes for him so far aside from the penalty, but who doesn't have a penalty? And he's kind of holding up DK. So it looks like points.
I don't think his tires are quite going to make it.
What are his tires at?
His tires are in the mid to high 50% range.
I don't know how he tears his tires up so much.
So,
that's
by the end of the race, it'll be about 85 or so.
That's like 17, 18 laps on those hards. And I don't know what he does. That's that's insane to me.
DK the meat and the Renault sandwich here though. Shane might line up and move well. We might be free wide here actually. As Mo's going to move to the inside, DK to the outside, and where's Shane going to go? He's going to go further outside and get around his teammates, so Mo loses 2 spots. Shane following.
There's 3 points might go a long way for Renault to make sure that they don't finish last. Because I think Lemmy is going to be able to score enough points for Racing Point to jump over him. And I think that Mercedes with Jay Lawler, they might have a chance as well, depending on where he ends up after his next pit stop. Again, that's way too much math for my simple American brain. So please take everything I say math related with a grain of salt.
Fair enough. Fred's in from P1. So he's planning to pop on these soft tyres to the end. I'll see what damage he should do. He's only done 10 laps on those mediums. So I'm not sure if he's going to get them to the end either. So he's probably going to stop them as well.
He's going to come up behind his teammate for this evening. Not very far, but that is a 2-second gap to Lemmy. Actually, no, it's a 4-second gap.
4-second gap.
Yeah, that's a 4-second gap to Lemmy.
Sweet man.
Yeah. 2 plus 2 is 4 minus 1. That's pretty quick maths. Motor up into P9. I think, was that a pit? Yeah, that was Arcock. I just pit. Lawler just pit as well. He's on the softs for the rest of the way. See if these guys on softs here, Lawler and Arcock, can make their way through the field. Actually, I think Arcock might be a little too far off the points, barring a safety car. Shane still keeping up with DK. So, I mean, we saw how quick DK was earlier on the softer compound. I've jinxed Shane, and he just got another 3-second time penalty. And we saw how quick DK was earlier on in the race. Not sure what he's going to need to ensure a Red Bull championship in the Constructors, and I'm not even going to try because I don't want to have an aneurysm live on YouTube. Vamanubel is in. He's on the softs. See if he can make up some ground. Perhaps a top 5. Hayden as well. And look at that is... Yep, that is a 6-second gap that Freddie has the Lemmy. Bama we will be expecting in. Oh wait, does Bama need to pit again?
I feel like he does. I don't think he's gonna make it to the end.
Yeah, he's only stopped once. Yeah, so I think Bama should probably pit this lap to put on the softs. We'll see where he comes out. Probably somewhere between Shane and Motor, if I had to guess.
Yeah, it's not the longest pit lane here. Quite short. So that's kind of why the 2-stop works. There are other places as well here. So
on cue.
Going to come in and push back towards the podium. Whether he'll get it, we're not sure. As Fred picks up a fastest lap of 15.3, which is very solid. Not too shabby at all. Bama is in the pits. Well, so we'll see where he comes out. Oh, he might be.
Yeah, I think he's going to get DK.
He's going to match his time per I think. Yeah, that's not too bad then. He'll be able to get the DRS and hopefully get past him again. We might even stay ahead of Shane here.
Yeah, I think
if he does, it'll be very useful.
His motor. I'm not sure what.
I'm not sure if he left and then pit or if he pit and then left. I'm not really sure. But he's also pit.
No, he's still on the hards, and he's just kind of going. He left the. Oh. I'm not sure why he's stuck on 49 miles an hour. That is really strange. Typically, when you lag out, your AI just goes to normal pace.
It wouldn't be fuel, not with 8 laps to go.
No.
He's right in the middle of the straight, which is surely a bit of a distraction. This is a new glitch. I know what's happened. His pit and the pit limit is still on. Because he hasn't taken over his car yet. I reckon that's what's happened. With the pit limit off 80 k's.
Do you think so?
I reckon his AI's got the pit limiter stuck on.
Oh man.
And maybe because he's just rejoined, he's not going to be able to take over it.
So he lagged out as he was pitting, you think? And
yeah.
Then when the AI came out, he just didn't hit the limiter.
I reckon he's taken over his car as the limit's meant to come off, so I reckon he's stuck. Because he should have taken over his car by now.
But he was going down like the straightaway, like on track, not in the pits, with the pit limiter.
Yeah.
That is a new one, folks. Is he still stuck on it?
Yeah, he's still stuck on it.
Oh yeah, you can't see the pit limit. Oh yeah. Well,
so he's not going to be able to take it off because he's too far in the pit lane, I think. He's got control of his car again. I think. So he's going to have to come and pit again, I think.
What?
And it's going to cost him possibly a top 10. Well, it's definitely going to cost him top 10.
Oh my god, that is the worst.
This is the best.
I've never seen this.
Never fails.
What a glitch. What a glitch that is. Stuck on pit limiter. Look at him going. He's having to do the entire lap at 49 miles per hour.
Oh, I'm like to stay here.
Yeah, you keep an eye on this. Like, I don't want to see what the lap time ends up being. He's driving at the speed limit. He's driving at the speed limit on a 2-lane highway in America. He's driving 50 miles an hour over this Formula One circuit. Oh, there!
Oh, and he's just teleported in the pits.
He just teleported into the pits from the stadium. That is incredible. That is incredible.
He takes the kilometer off. Surely. Hey, there we go. Well done, mate.
Absolutely incredible.
That's a glitch and a half. I've never seen that before.
Yeah. You see something, you know, you'll see something new every time you log into Formula One 2020.
Well, anyway, what's happening in this race? Fred's got a 15-second lead, which is something. Bama's got 3.2 seconds to Lynn. You should be able to catch that, but no one's going to catch Fred.
Considering he started last, this is fairly impressive. Is Clay? Is that? Oh, that is in the pits for Clay. He's had enough this evening. Nothing to fight for anymore. I think now our attention can turn to Bama and Lemmy.
Yeah, DK's just all half lost out of the final corner, so Shane might have to run here as well. And straight, this could be for a podium as well. Although with penalties, Shane, oh wow, Shane has 21 seconds of penalties.
Yeehaw, Shane! Whoa!
There you go, DK has 6.
Oh.
So he's definitely going to hang on. Shane's probably going to be at risk of jumping out of the points.
21 seconds. Oh, nah, I think he'll be alright.
Oh no, Porridge is a long way back, so he might jump to 9.
24, and Porridge has 9 seconds as well. And then even after that, Arcock and Google both have penalties as well. Just 3 seconds between those two. As the intervals have gone again, but don't you fret, because we have the beautiful...
Oh, Shane, mate, he's just picked up 3 warnings in like 3 corners, and that's another penalty. And that'll be another
Shane
warning
is
there.
getting locked and loaded for the EU4 race on Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
At what point do you think? At what point do you think he's at risk of a DSQ? About
I think
30?
when you get 10 cutting penalties, so 30 warnings, I think you get DSQ'd.
Okay, so well, as long as he doesn't keep, as long as he drives a little bit safer.
Yeah, it'll be 5 warnings away. 5 warnings in 5 laps. What do you reckon? Well, he's actually going to get overtaken here, but.
Is that could be?
Oh, Bamu. Although he has 0 ERS, so I don't think it's quite going to get him Bamu. Bamu is probably going to take the position off both DK and Shane as it stands.
Yeah, you're right.
Bama is having a fight now.
Yeah, but I think that was Bama was closing about a second a lap. Not a surprise at all, to be honest, on those softs at the moment. Only 3 laps old, Lemmy 11 lap old mediums. I think Bama is gonna, unfortunately for Lemmy, run away with P2. And honestly, that's so yeah. There you go. 16th. Bama started 16th. He's now P2. Freddie started 17th. He is now P1. I guess these guys are ready for some AM1 action next season. By the looks of things, because that is quite the achievement, regardless of your competition.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of cars to get by. And they did most of it on track as well. Oh, Shane's in the wall! I was just on board with J-Law behind. He's dropped it out of the stadium section. That's gonna definitely put him out of the points now. Then
yeah, that is big damage too to the right side of his front wing. Yeah, that he couldn't even finish with that, and he gets a 5-second penalty. Yes, he is, and he's retired. Ladies and gentlemen, Shane has left the building. It was entertaining nonetheless. Thank you, Shane, for participating this evening.
I think that's going to make Renault last as well.
I think that Renault, yeah, 47 Racing Point is going to be able to jump them with Lemmy. Mercedes right now, Lawler's 6th place gets 8 points.
8 points.
Yeah, that would be 50 points for Mercedes. That that is tragic for Renault. Our dark horse to win the Constructors' Championship at the start of the season.
We said at the start of the season they could win it.
Yeah, we thought that was like we thought that was a trendy pick. Turns out it was the absolute opposite of a trendy pick. It's actually it's the literal opposite, because they about to finish last. So it's been fun. Been a fun time this year, but of course, Vamo. I think he'll be happy with a P4 to close out the season. We've seen flashes of Vamo, Newell throughout the year, different times. Yeah, I think so. He only has 30 points, but I don't think that's really tells you the whole story, because he has been in the top 5, I'd say, over half the time. I think his results just haven't been there through the season. Yeah, that is tough.